Hey everyone, let's make sure it's on correctly before we get started. My hat on. We might have to go outside a little. So we got some of our plants that are growing up today, but let's get started. Hopefully everyone is having a good morning. All right, we're gonna get started in seconds. Let's go. Hey cultivators, it's Angeline. Today's live is about our garden check-in, a full plant wellness visit to make sure our system is thriving. So here to see our system, we have a few things that need updating. We have well-pruned plants that need trimming. We have to make sure our roots are staying in their own lane, keeping our airflow, preventing diseases. And I'm going to share some steps why this matters and some visual cues as we make those updates or go through our plants. So whether you are growing herbs, peppers, flowers, whatever you're growing, we're just doing our check-in to make sure our food is healthy and our plants are thriving. And if you'd like $100 off your own garden, click the link in the description below. And don't forget to join our cultivators for live gardening exclusive tips at patreon.com/Angeline Verdant. And remember to stay green always, of course. But remember, today's a good day to garden. And let's get started. Okay, so we are going to be checking in and making sure that we have no issues with our plants. Nobody needs pruning. We do have some people that may need to go outside, but we are going to make sure you're doing all right. So this is our fresh. Fresh definitely needs a little more assistance. So we are making sure we get fresh the assistance that it needs. For today, as you can see, some of our plants, they're very crowded. I don't know if they're getting the nutrients. We don't know if anything needs pruning. Our tomato plant definitely needs pruning very often. And we're also going to need our, what do we need? Let me clean you guys off. We're just going to check in, need to make sure the roots are going good and make sure that our tomato plant isn't being overgrown. I know on this one, I was considering, I'm going to turn you guys around, considering getting well, we definitely need to get some spraying done. Here we go. We got you guys flexible now. A fan for out here. The fan is doing very well inside, and fans are important for helping with airflow. We've been having a lot of humidity, and a lot of the plants have been developing some mildew from the amount of humidity that is going on here. So let's see, we got you guys. There you go. You can see very easily. So we're gonna go through our plants. Some definitely new. So I know the ones that definitely needs adjusting. This one right here, as you can see, it's wilting. It has powdery mildew. It's definitely affected. As you can see, some parts dried out. So we're gonna have to take it out. I'm gonna take it outside because it's so large. I'm taking it outside. If not, if you want to get rid of it inside, what you can do is, what you're gonna see me with some of these, give it a rinse, wash it off, and then we'll put some neem oil to prevent the powdery mildew. Let me get my little hand shovel so we can get this outside. I'm planting. All right, so I got my little shovel here because we're definitely going to be going outside to plant this, plant that plant. It's been raining a lot. Let's put this here. We don't want any of the outside germs on it. And so, yes, this is how you can tell that you have a little bit of powdery mildew. It looks like mildew. So we're going to get this one outside and get some air on it. This is our passive tomato plants. We're probably gonna have to add some water in there, which is really holding on to some other plants that are growing in between it. Yeah, this mildew is affecting down here. One of the ways to prevent mildew growth is having a fan. Again, it's not usually this humid inside. I have a fan in the other garden, so it has a lot less of this occurrence. So I'm probably gonna have to get one for out here too. Get a small little one. So let's take this one out. Now, of course, you don't have to take it out if your plant has mildew, but once my plants get such a large size and they're suffering so much, I'm gonna take it out and let it get some outside life. This is a, so you probably see a little clearer what the powdery mildew is. And I'm going to have some of these other plants out here as well. Putting this in a space where we got some of our other plants. It's me opening the door. I'm going to put it here. All right, so these plants have a lot of thorns and they drive me crazy. But I think this would be a good place for this plant to grow. So first thing is first, we have to remove the mildew. Let me go get my little shovel. And give it some protection. So we have our neem oil that we're going to put it in after. It's also not a good idea to put the little cubes in the dirt, but I'm putting them in because they have, I'll rinse it off when I get inside. But the powdery mildew makes the plant very weak. These plants drive me crazy. I have to do some maintenance out here. I figured if I had more regular plants growing, I'd have less of these weed and other invasive, they're invasive to me, plants coming in. So let's just get these over and out of the way. I very much dislike this plant. And let's get the hose so we can get some watering done. Well, it's been raining. Whoops. Some rinsing off of the mildew from this plant. Let's put the shower on. I'm gonna rinse off the leaves. I'm gonna rinse the mildew off of it. All right, give it a good rinse. That's a powerful one. It definitely weakens the plant. And you can see that this stuff is easily snapping. The leaves are easily disintegrating. It makes the plant very weak very easily. I need to get more strong rinsing the hose. If it was inside, I would wash this off in the sink and then bring the plants. After washing it off in the sink, I would then spray it. But it kind of eats away at the plants. So let's give it a little dig. Make sure I'm in frame. We're just gonna put it in, not too deep. You don't want to interact. I do have bulbs in here, so I don't want to interact too much with the bulbs for plants that are coming up during the year. Of course, we're gonna take this out. It is too, we want to loosen up the roots so they can expand. We're going to break off the bottom of the roots. It's well in there, so I'm not going to take it out of here. I'm just going to plant it. Out here is a lot cooler, this section. is north facing. It's a lot cooler, and I want to extend this section to have lots of things like cabbage growing here, and mustard. We got some more stuff here. So let's see if we can get it cleaned off. People use a mixture. I do have a mixture inside that I'm going to use. I'm going to see if I can use the oil first before using the stronger mixture. I might use some vinegar, not vinegar, sorry, hydrogen peroxide to help get it cleaned off. Just going to power it off today. That's the There we go. Put it stand up here. Now we're gonna drench it with oil. Things are just biting me out here. I'm gonna spray it with our oil and then head back inside. Now this definitely has to be like disinfected and everything because it's been outside. Usually I don't bring it out. That's the first thing we're gonna do is get that plant, get this disinfected inside because it's been outdoors. So we're gonna keep an eye on this mustard green, making sure that it overcomes this mildew. Give it a few more extra treatments of the oil as time goes by. If it rains, you come back, you have to give it a treatment again. So it should be raining today, so we're probably gonna come back and spray it again tomorrow. But we're gonna make sure that this one makes a full recovery. It should be cool enough for it to be out here. Eventually we're gonna come get some gloves and remove all of these thorn plants. Head back inside. I got several bites just now on my foot. All right. We don't want this too close. Ooh, I had like 5 bites. They ate me up out there. I was only outside for 2 seconds. Ooh, I don't even know what they are. All right, here we go. So we got that out. Sweep up. Sweep it out of the way. And I'm sure some of these other plants that were growing nearby are having some effects as well with the humidity. So this is why sometimes air circulation will help with this. Kind of preventative for this. Let me wash this really quickly to make sure it's clean and we didn't bring back any harmful things from outside. I'm going to use some vinegar for this washing to make sure nothing, vinegar and water solution. We don't want to introduce any new microorganisms from outside inside. So we got this one cleaned. We're going to put it back in here. Now our parsley is being affected as well. Let's separate this out. Our thyme was affected. Wow, we got a lot of things here. A lot of humidity and not too much circulation. So we got a lot of plants that were affected. This is why we do our little check-ins. our mints to make sure everyone is thriving. We don't want just healthy plants, we want thriving plants. So you just check to see they're doing okay. Get a lot of this powder here. Wipe it off. On the light. There we go. So we are going to check on this one. Let's see how this is looking. This does have it. So we also have to give this one a good rinse. And then spray it. So this one's staying inside. I just pulled out one of the parsley plants. I'm going to rinse it off and then use some of the peroxide mixture to clean it. So we're gonna take this one outside too and rinse it off. Well, no, we're not gonna take it outside since I have about 7 mosquito bites from being outside. So we're gonna rinse this one in the sink. I mean, actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get a bowl to dip it in and give it a rinse. Make it easier. So we could do our solution. I can show you how we could do our solution with vinegar and water. Let's get rid of our mildew issue. All right, so I put a cap full of vinegar and some water in a bowl. And we are going to give our mildew plants a little dip. Here. The table's not set today. I'm rinsing off the leaves. The mildews are more than this. I don't want to snap the base. Giving it a cleaning. Getting all the stuff out. See if we can still see it on the leaves. Then we're going to rinse it off with some clean water. So just get off any mildew. The mildew like slowly disintegrates the plants. It's not healthy. It doesn't live happily with it. It just slowly makes the plants weak, and then the plants kind of like just disintegrate into nothing. So it's something you definitely want to get ahead of. You want to keep these leaves nice and healthy. Feeling great. So we are getting everything doing well. Alrighty. So now we've, make sure I got it. Everything's looking pretty green. Yes. All right. I'm going to rinse this off. Actually, I'm going to rinse it off and harvest it because it's growing pretty well. So I'm going to actually harvest it and then rinse off. Let's get our snippers, snip it off and harvest it because it doesn't need to be on the plants. And the more airflow, the least likely to get this. So let's cut some of these down and allow them to regrow. So that's a younger one. So when plants like parsley, when you're harvesting plants like parsley, you just look in. You leave about 1/3 of the plant on. I harvest the larger ones. You could harvest like this. At the Y split, this one actually broke, so it's not going to go from there. Or you have shorter ones here. You want to get these sticks off. So it's kind of like harvesting the basil. The same way. You leave a good percentage of the plant on. And then you cut at the Y part. Cut these off. It's actually roots. So I'm gonna go rinse it off because, well, it needs rinsing. Before I put the neem oil on, oh, we still have a lot here. A lot of our plants. So I'm going to see where they split like this. So I would cut here. Same thing, kind of go through these. Same thing, splits here. One up the middle. I'm gonna cut here. So when you have like when mildew starts coming, it's usually due to light airflow. We usually have good airflow, but it's been raining, extremely humid over the last few days. So we're gonna do this and add a fan. And it's interesting, the reason why I didn't put a fan in that area, because it's the door is always opening and closing. There's a lot of airflow there. But it's been extremely hot. This one snapped. Anything that already snapped, I trim. All right, so we have our plant. I'm gonna go rinse this off. This is what we're gonna keep in our garden. I'm gonna go rinse this off. This is a basic one I pulled out. I'm gonna rinse it off and then spray the neem oil and put it back in. So it's not taking up too much space. Then we're gonna keep this as harvested, rinse this off, and put it in the refrigerator. Keep going. So let's rinse off with regular water. So we got it nice and clean. Dry a little bit with the paper towel. Not squeezing it too much because the mildew, if not cold enough, leaves the plants kind of weak. So we don't want plants that are too weak. I mean, we don't want to squeeze them and then they're struggling. So give a little shake, dry it off. Here we are. And we are going to spray some oil on it. Keep it protected. Parsley, just thinking about how much light it needs. Just gonna put it here. Here we go. And then our next plant next to it. So a lot of these plants down here are struggling. The mint, same thing. I did give the mint a trim recently, harvested recently, but it didn't had a lot of mildew. The mildew kind of like it takes the nutrients from the plant. So I'm gonna give it a little trim and a rinse and get back. This one's struggling a lot. This mint plant is having a lot of, so we're gonna cut back all these dry spots. So today we have our checking when the plants aren't doing so well. Our other garden, on the other hand, is thriving. The hibiscus is growing so fast over there and they're blossoming. We have fruits growing. And interesting enough, on the top of this same garden, the plants are thriving too. That bottom row, and the bottom row wasn't getting enough airflow. For some reason, well, because there was a lot of crowding. Also, the plant that was struggling did have a lot of, I'm gonna have to take that out soon because you can't just have it soaking in vinegar. The plant that was struggling was a very large plant, so it was able to spread the mildew to other plants very easily because it's so big. And it was still growing through it, but some of the other plants can't handle that much. Can't handle that much mildew. All right, so I'm gonna, here we go. So we have our mint just growing here. We got growing long. This one was harvested last week, so we're not gonna do any harvesting. My mom came to visit. I gave her some to take with her. So this plant was recently harvested and cut down just to the bottom. But it did have that other plant next to it with the mildew, so we're gonna give it we have to give everybody a little rinse, protective rinse. This one could just take a regular rinse. It doesn't need the bath. The parsley was right next to the mustard green. So the further we went, we're from the original plant that had the issue, that had the mildew, the more healthier the plants are. So this one was not as close, so it didn't have as many issues, such as the parsley, which was right next door. And the thyme was right next door too. So all like our pepper over here is doing pretty good. Our thyme, it has some leaves here, but it's not doing too well. It is hot. And thyme does not do good in the hot weather. And the thyme is very hot. So I'm gonna leave it here and let it kind of make a comeback. Hi. Hi, the Wickershire Project Off Grid. Nice seeing you. Thanks for joining and commenting. But it did get, you can see that it does have a little bit of mildew on it. So the thyme definitely can make it come back very easily. However, it is very warm and thyme does not do so great with warm. We're just gonna rinse it off and give it some oil. And if when it's warm, I could still see some green, it can still come back once the weather cools down. And we are in the second week of August. We should have the weather should be cooling down shortly. So I'm just gonna give this one a quick rinse and give it some neem oil and help it come back. I'm also going to put some of our anti-algae growth on the roots. Oh, you like the aeroponics? Oh, you see yes, we have a lot of basil. That basil has been growing since November. Basil has been growing a long time. All right, so we're gonna give this a rinse and I'm going to put some anti-algae in the roots because the roots are also turning color. So this one, if the plant isn't growing and thriving, other things grow and thrive. Oh, this is fun. Just don't mix the soil with the plants. I sometimes, earlier in the video, we took some of these plants and put them out in the soil. But the plants grow very fast with the hydroponics. The plants grow extremely quickly and you got to keep up. You can't be like, oh, I'll come back in a little while and outside will take care of it. Before you know it, the plants are thriving. So that's one cool thing I like about hydroponics, and you don't have to worry about the seasons as much. So as you can see, we do have some seasonal issues, but they're not as much as outside. And one of our plants outside fell down, the avocado plant. So we're gonna have to go outside eventually and fix this. So let me rinse this and bring it back. Give it some treatment. So the thyme is being attacked on both sides. Our thyme has both aggressions from the top and below. So I'm gonna get our thyme on some, get some, oh, the mixing, well, the mixing, you just, it's a teaspoon or use a measuring cup. And the mixing is pretty easy. When you add new, let me get this stuff here. When you add new food, when you're mixing into hydroponics, um, I add the food by the gallon. I mean, I add water by the gallon and then the food the same way. So yeah, so these roots aren't doing too well either. And usually the plant's not doing good above, then the roots start to suffer. So I am gonna help the roots along with my solution here with some peroxide and water. So we're gonna give the roots a chance to, because it's, what happens is when the plant's not growing that much, algae starts growing, other things start growing in this place. So we are gonna help these roots along with some peroxide and then put some neem oil on the top to stop the spread of the mildew. So you can use neem oil and also use, what else we use? So as you can see, the mildew made the plant very weak. So you use neem oil and copper. Those are two very safe things. I use neem oil. I also use neem oil in my hair, not the spray, but I use neem oil in my hair. So I'm like, hey, this is safe. Oh, I missed the comment. Hold on, let me go back. Oh, the granular mix. Why? Again, when I do my mixes, I always mix it by the gallon. It's not the price of the mix. It's all making sure you have a balance of the nitrogen and elements that your plants need to grow. All right, so we have our thyme here. Our thyme, we just leave a little bit on to make it come back. Our parsley definitely should be able to get some air. I'm gonna move the fan. I have a fan on the other garden, and as I said, that garden is thriving. The fan is not on all day and all night. It's on for a couple hours. So what I'm gonna do is put it on for a couple hours at that garden, as usual. But then during the hours it's not on the other garden, I'm gonna bring it out here to this garden and let, especially at the bottom, let these bottom plants get some air circulating. Because that mustard green was a giant plant and it definitely was spreading it was growing, it was still growing large, even though it had the mildew growing on it. And the mildew was able to spread to other plants because the mustard green was such a large plant. All right, so we have on this side, we have plants that are less affected, which are the pepper plants, but they are deeper rooters. So I'm gonna pull them out after. I might even bring the pepper plant over. Well, I keep changing it. My wall is this light color, so I don't even know if it got, if some of the mildew got on the wall, I can't see. I'm just gonna give it a wipe. All right, so I could see it on this collard green plant. Collard green plant roots are not growing in as aggressively as they should. That's because of our mildew. So it's very weak roots. It hasn't also, although the roots are weak, algae hasn't had the opportunity to grow in yet because the plant is still doing pretty good. So I'm going to give it a little spray. This one definitely has some mildew on it. I'm just going to clip it off. Some of these leaves that are infected, I'm going to clip it off, let the algae, they're doing pretty healthy. They're just not tip-top shape. You get a little, see the little brown lines there. So it's getting to the plants slowly but surely. So we want to catch it before it gets anything. The arid stone. So this one is hydroponics. I have one that was in the kitchen that was aeroponics, and I used the air stone for that one. This one, the air gets into it gets aerated as the water drops from the top through to the bottom. So that's how the air gets into the plants. Yes, the water drip feed. So the water goes from the top down every so often. But yeah, this one, we're going to give it a little rinse, come back, give it some protection with our neem oil, and so it can make it a healthy comeback. Yeah, so these plants, they are not in no way in the danger zone, but this is the stage you want to catch it at. And of course, it's in a high traffic area, so I'm able to see how they're doing daily. I saw the one growing, but I wanted to show you guys kind of how to fix it and what happens if especially if this is like outside in the yard, you're not walking past it, or it's not a high traffic area, you're not seeing the development of the mildew. So I wanted to kind of show you guys like how to get it back. So we'll be on this journey together. So what I found makes the plants pretty weak. And you don't want weak plants, because once the plants get weak, then the algae starts growing and other things start growing wrongly. All right, this position, oops, I put it in the wrong position. This position is where our last collard green plant was, and I want it a little higher because I'm definitely going to be moving it up. All right, so we have some watercress. Interesting enough, I planted watercress. I was like, oh, great idea. Don't know what to do with it. So we have it here. It's growing. It's thriving. It definitely is ready to harvest. I'm going to harvest it pretty high up. I'm going to harvest it down to here. That's the thick one. I'm going to harvest it all the way back. And then we're going to go look and find out what we can do with watercress. If anyone has any suggestions on how what they put the watercress in, please leave it in the comments below. Let me know. Throw it in the chat. Because I was like, oh, right, keeps on talking about growing it. There we go. We're going to let this is going to go in our harvest bowl. We got a large harvest of watercress. Give it a zoom out. And some dry leaves in there. It's our watercress plant that we're harvesting, and we're going to figure out what we're going to do with it. Herbal drying. Oh, yes. That's not bad. My mom also suggested that to eat later on in the winter. Okay, so we got our watercress down to normal size. As you can see, it's kind of weighing down on the Swiss chard. Our Swiss chard, the leaves are looking okay. It does have some mildew aspects and is fighting a little bit of algae. I'm going to put one of our covers on it. One of our covers here to prevent algae growth. So let's go get a cover. The summertime, it feels like for these systems, when it's hot and humid, well, I'm not going to blame the system. I was going to say, when it's hot and humid, these systems is more maintenance, and then when it's cool and cold, less maintenance. But the reason why it's hot and humid is because from time to time, turn off the AC. I don't leave it on all the time. I turn it on, and I keep it pretty warm. So I keep it at in the almost 8, so at 75, 70 to 77. And if it's that temperature outside, then I don't usually have the AC on. But they're not doing well with the humidity. All right, so let's get them. These are covers that we use. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let's bring you closer. To prevent algae, we have our covers. Sometimes people put them in from the beginning. You can see there's one here. I usually put them on if things get rough. I don't always put them on from the beginning. Sometimes the plants grow very wide, so it's not necessary. They grow. I'll show you some on the other side. In our other garden, we have like a hibiscus. This hibiscus is growing too, but not like this, where the middle of the hibiscus is like the size of the square. So the hibiscus plant is humongous at the stem. So when plants are like that size, I usually don't put these in. So I like to see how the plant is growing, but you don't know ahead of time whether it's going to be that size because the hibiscus plant here, it has one of these around it and it's fine. It's holding. All right, so this is again my peroxide mixture. This plant is suffering a little. Actually, both of our Swiss chard plants are suffering. They are fall plants. This one I snapped it by accident. They are fall plants. They're cooler weather plants. Like as I'm doing this, let me reach in and put the AC on. Let's keep it at a cool, what? 70. I'll keep it at 70 here, 75. 75 is good. I'm gonna keep it at a cool 75. This one I snapped by accident, so it's gonna start deteriorating soon. So we're just gonna put this in our time to eat pile and let it go from there. So I sprayed some peroxide on this one. I decided to, as I go up, just do a full neem spray. Yeah, these plants over here are definitely needing some fresh air. Because the green is not as green as it should be. So that is indicative of needing some fresh air. The leaves are struggling. So our basil, we did a recent cutback on the basil. Basil's looking good. The basil's keeping the lavender extremely healthy. This algae is not even growing in the thing here. It's keeping it shaded and healthy, so that's fine. This lavender here is fighting a little bit of algae, but it's still developing and growing. We'll leave it. I'm gonna do we have a mini tomato plant there that just less than a week ago just got in. So we're gonna spray these with some neem oil, keep them safe and protected as we continue on. Just gonna put our neem oil on, give it a little drench. Got lavender there, lavender here, and our tomato plant. Let me put a cap on this for now. We do have plants that are ready to go, however they are plants that I want to plant outside because they get really large when they're in the garden. Just put a cap there to keep the light down. Now up here, we have our pepper plant and our, which plant is it? Spinach. So our spinach, you can see our leaves on our spinach are not super green. It's a lighter color green. So that's definitely, it's in need of some type of, what do you call it again? Better airflow. It looks like it's getting a little bit of mildew on it. So yeah, so I look at signs that the mildew is there before I can actually see the white mildew growing on there. So I'm gonna give it a spray because it looks like a metallic color a little. That's what it starts to look like. You're like, oh, okay. So we have these. I'm gonna give it a little spray. Again, I don't think there's anything actually, I'm not sure. So I'm not giving it the full rinse. I'm gonna spray it with the peroxide to kill anything that may or may not be there growing, just in case. Any type of moss or anything. The peroxide solution does work. The solution with peroxide, and then let it dry off a little and we'll hit it with our neem oil. Now we have our pepper plant, which is again thriving. I had it grown down to a normal size. It is now very large. Let's see what's happening. Oops. We got our roots growing here. You can see our cucumber plant running. Let's take this one to the table and see what we got. See if I can get a better color. Sometimes by the garden light, you can't really see what color is going on. Let's clean this up. If it is healthy, we don't want to put on an unhealthy surface. So let's wipe this off. This plant was substantially far from the mustard. You don't want to put it in its There we go. Let me get some spray. Uh-oh. There we go. Get some spray, clean off. You want any of that dust on it at all? So I'm just spraying. This is actually the peroxide spray that I just used. So it's not really to clean tables. It's not really a glass cleaner. It's just to get the peroxide. So let's see what's going on here with this plant. Forgot I was wearing sunglasses. All right, let's get this light on and let's see, examine this plant. We have some leaves that are getting a little brown. Looks like something may or may not be eating it. It is very crowded in here. We have peppers that are growing on almost all of the shoots. All the shoots are doing well. But we do have something that's bothering it a little. So let's go in and get some of these leaves that are being annoyed. Get some of them cleaned. Let me wipe off the cutter. Also get some of those removed. If there is anything bothering it, we want to make sure that we get it while it's early. Of course, you usually, this is like preventative stage. It may or may not be, but any sign that it could be, you're gonna go in. We're gonna get the roots into the root container. Also, only a little bit of water is coming out, so that means this root container doesn't really hold that much water. Probably gonna have to cut the roots and then let them refill up the container. But for now, I might have to do that because I'm like, it's not supporting it that much, but it's really big. This plant is an older plant. Well, it has some space. It's not too tight, so water should be able to get in. Let's get off some of these leaves that aren't doing too well so we can get better air and the plant doing a lot better. Wow, the sweet pepper smells really good. It smells sweet. It may be working. So you see a leaf fell off and it's still in the container. So these plants may be working a little hard. So the leaves are falling off, but it's so tight that it can't even drop. So it's like kind of disintegrating on the plant itself. So we're gonna get some of these leaves that it looks like some stuff is bothering our pepper plants. So we're gonna give this one a rinse because I'm not sure, but we don't want to find out. If it looks like it needs some help, just give it the help. There's no need to waiting to see if it really needs help or not. Just give it the help it needs up front. See, like this leaf fell off, but it's just sitting there. That's the sign that it's not getting enough air. If a leaf falls off, the plant should, well, usually the wind would blow it away. But since we're not having as much wind as we need, we're not getting that right now. So a lot of leaves are staying in here and they're falling. Anything with some tips. This happened to this plant before when it's fruiting. It does a lot of, all right, so all of these, this whole stem, there's nothing going on here. So we're gonna cut this branch off completely. And also the plant can only support what this amount of roots can support. So it's okay to prune this plant back. Hopefully it has a lot of, I look for stems to have a lot of potential going into them. This one here does. That one doesn't. Let's let this one come off. So that we only keep on what is being super productive. And the ones that are just barely making it or just hanging on, we leave them. All right, some of these big leaves can go. because it is a limited amount of resources for this plant. It is in a container, in a system. So I try to keep, yes, when the fruits, sometimes I do get these brown leaves. I cut them off sometimes. It's okay to stay. Usually happens around where there's a lot of fruiting. I think it's just the fruit taking the nutrients from the leaves near it, which to me is fine. But we try to keep it a little open. Let's see if everything's airy here. This is not even part. This is tangling up from another plant. I'm just snipping them off with my fingers. Yeah, we want these plants to get the air that they need, the breeze going through. This plant is a plant that's a good age. It's almost a year. It's been fruiting over and over and over. We do these trimmings on it pretty often. This one is very healthy. This branch, give it a little shake. Yes, I'm gonna definitely try to let the fan come out here and give this one some extra air. I'm doing a little shaking. The water's gonna come if I turn it upside down. I'm a little shaking to see if there's any leaves in there that need to come out, any weaker stems, any weaker leaves, so they could drop out now. Yeah, this is definitely has some stuff going on. And so something is attacking these leaves. So we're gonna give them a rinse, get them feeling healthy, and then spray them with our oil. Rinsing these are a little more harder. This you definitely don't want to put the, what do you call it again? Because you got flowers on it. So I'm just doing a light rinse, like I would be, like rain, like if I was rain. We're not gonna do a full dip wash. We do have flowers that are fruiting and in the fruiting process. I'm gonna do a rain type rinse for this one under the sink, and then get it sprayed. And let's get our, see, this is super bushy. Yeah, and just touching the plant, I can feel some places where it's rough. So we're gonna give this one, and then we'll spray. The roots are looking very good, so we're just gonna spray some neem oil on it. So let me get our rinse going, our shower, plant shower. So we got a little plant shower in and around the leaves. I'm gonna give it a few minutes to dry off the little plant shower. Give a few minutes to dry before I put the neem oil on. So we're gonna keep on putting on the other plants. Give a little paper towel shake. I'm gonna keep on looking at some of the other plants and checking in on them. This one is taking this garden is gonna take a little longer. The fresh garden, because the verdant garden is super healthy. That fan has been doing wonders in there. So it doesn't have, and a lot of the plants are thriving. Only plants that are struggling a little bit are from overgrowth. I'm just gonna give you guys a quick look while we let this one dry. So yes, the plants in here are thriving to the point where they need to be harvested. Our Swiss chard is doing great. This one is doing good. Our dill, that's the water going on. Our stuff is out of control here. Uh-oh, we got a call. Let me turn it off. Sorry about that. All right, there we go. Our lemon balm is just growing. Everything's growing quite aggressively. That's the only issues with this plant. Our high, what do you call it? Hibiscus is opening and closing, so it's on a closed phase. Yesterday, 2 or 3 of them were open. They were humongous. It was gorgeous. So they're closing back, but you know how the hibiscus goes. They open, they close, open, they close. So I'll probably show you guys some pictures of that. All right, so that one is going to be pretty easy. I mean, it does have some areas that probably need some more fan. As you can see, the water is running. Right now, the time just hit the water's running. See how those roots are hanging? Those roots are actually from this pepper plant that just got uh, caught up while I was pulling it out. So let's put this in here. Yes. Yes, I have Swiss chard, pink, yellow, and red. So the red is right here. The yellow is right there, and then the pink was in the other system. The pink was in our garden system. All right, so this is our hibiscus in here. As you can see, this hibiscus, they're both planted the same day, but they're growing at their own pace and size. And this one you can probably see inside. So I can find the stem to show you guys what this. Oh, here it is. The stem of this one is after the cucumber goes. See the size of it? It's the size of the protectant that's there. Now, let me show you the stem of the other one that doesn't have the protectant. And it is humongous. So, and then it has a shoot coming out the side. So I don't, unless it's absolutely necessary, I don't usually add them. I wait to see if it's needed, if it has to have it, then I go from there. If not, I let them grow because these plants are planted the same day and the size is way different. See how wide it is? All right. Oh yeah, so well, I wouldn't say it's amazing. It's good for the cool weather. So that's why here now that it's getting it's just started. I mean, it's still surviving, but now it's very humid. It's very warm. Our Swiss chard is. It's not as vibrant, or it's growing a little slower, as you can see here, than it did when it was nice and cold or cooler in the house during the winter months. I keep on sweeping. I don't, usually what happens is after these videos, I have tons and tons of cleanup. So I'm trying to do it simultaneously. As I trim, I put it on the floor and then I sweep every time I walk by. All right, so our pepper plant is doing pretty good. I mean, these things happen, these little dry spots, but mostly when it is flowering. What is this? Oh, this is some spinach. We're gonna let our spinach and our pepper dry and then we'll add our neem oil. Then we have this cucumber plant, which I've been harvesting from. It's starting over here. It went all the way up and around and back down. And then there's a lot of, I took out the dry leaves on the cucumber plant. Usually after the cucumber grows there, the leaves kind of dry out and then we move on. Where's my little sniffer? Okay, here we go. So I'm going to get some of our stuff out. These dry leaves off the cucumber plant. It starts to regrow again. As you can see, this one we clipped, and then now back at here they're growing good. But most of the new cucumbers are coming where the new growth is. Now we've been having a lot of trouble with lettuce and the humidity in the house. We have this butter crunch, like almost all the lettuce we've been growing over the summer indoors has been very, the lettuce has not been doing well. So we've had certain types of lettuce do well in the heat of the summer, but I'm going to be, I think from now on, I'm going to be doing the lettuce. I'm only growing certain strands during the summer and then the other strands during the fall and the winter, because the summer they grow in, they're very skinny, they're born bolted. That's how it seems. So they're here right now, but again they are being born bolted. All right, so we have this Swiss chard. All right, let's go through what we have going on here. This is our cucumber. Let's get our cucumber cleaned up, so it can give us some nice fruit. The cucumber may be needing a little more water, but it's working together in the ecosystem, and it's doing okay as long as it doesn't cover up anyone like it is here. It's bothering the hibiscus just a little. All right, so I'm gonna have to take that out from behind. Now it seems like one side of this garden is super full. So for balance, I'm thinking of moving it. However, no, I can't do that because they're growing, everyone is growing together. All right, let's start with, everybody's tangled up. This is how we know they need air. Our hibiscus. Our hibiscus plant is here. It's not doing as well as the hibiscus next door, but it is here. Let's take it out and see how it's, if anything else is going. Oh, this is one reason why the roots are not in this watering area. Okay, oh, we do have hibiscus. Oh, so it is doing well. Huh, the flowers, they're opening, they're closing. These flowers are facing the back. It looks like the wall reflects the light and some of the plants go towards that direction instead. Also, I put the roots back in here. The reason why it's important to have the roots inside of the watering so that it can get water. What happens is if it's outside, water passes by, that's nice because it's all the fresh water, but it's not able to just continuously drink when the water's not running. So the plant gets not as much water as it could be getting if the roots stayed in their container. So I put them back in. This one's looking pretty good. That's a little thing here. I think I might take this off because the other plant was doing so well, the bigger one, and it's bigger, I believe, because it doesn't have this restricting it. So we're gonna open it up right here. Let's check the leaves. To really get a good sense of the leaves, I kind of pull it away in the natural light so I can see without the garden backlighting it how they're doing. So it's really hard to see this, but this one, the way it's yellow, when I turn it this way, there was a leaf right over it like this. So it wasn't getting enough light, so it has that little yellow spot. And also this plant decided to grow in the other direction. So looking at it right now, I am considering, because it wasn't getting as much light as it should be getting, moving the location. We do have a lot of empty spots. I don't want two Swiss charts right next to each other, but I think I might move it over here where it can get full light, no interruptions. The lavender has been growing. It's small, but it's making it. So I'm gonna move the lavender out and bring this up front so it's not confused as to where the light is, because the light is not behind the plant, it's in front. So we're gonna move it here. There's a lot of space here to this side. It is resting a little bit on the light, but let's bring it to get as much light as possible. We're gonna move our lavender over here. With the air being cleared up, the lavender should do well. So I'm just gonna clean up this area. There was a lot of, this what happens when they don't get pollinated, and the cucumbers don't get pollinated too much, especially indoors, if there isn't as much wind, because they're self-pollinating. So we are gonna definitely get some wind over here. So one way for me to do this, show you guys what I do sometimes. I just come here. I'm supposed to move it with the light. Oh, I definitely can't. Sometimes it's not full. Just turn it around. For these plants that felt that the back was better than the front, just turn it around. Tomatoes having a hole. I don't know what is going on here. I don't know why I felt that down here. There's also tomatoes growing here. The tomato plant is having a whole adventure back here. Let me put you guys this way so the light is not shining directly. The sunlight's not hitting us directly. If these did not pollinate, that's why they're so dry. And the leaf is drying off. However, it did turn around the other side and pollinate. So it's okay. This side, I did take some cucumbers off in here, but it's very crowded in there. So I'm gonna try to reach in. And we have the trellis doing their own thing. Yeah, so this also is important to make sure you keep the area clear so that the plant could definitely breathe and everybody's not on top of each other, having each other not feeling well. That's pretty much what's going on here. We have this cucumber plant holding on to other plants, to tomatoes. So we want to keep everybody healthy. As I see these here, ones that didn't get pollinated, so this is a lot of ones that didn't get pollinated in this last growth area. So this is, it's still growing through. I cut it so that whatever grows next does have the opportunity to get pollinated. And definitely with our fan time coming to this section, it shouldn't be an issue at all. All right, so we have our Swiss chard. Here we go. Growing in. Let me just see if there's anything else from this side. And from this side, I could see some of the plants not feeling good. I just missed some comments about the cucumbers. Yeah, the hibiscus is for the flowers. Yes, the hibiscus is for the flowers. I like to make tea, and we have a drink in Caribbean that people make, and in other countries too, called sorrel. So we use the hibiscus flower. It's really good. That's also why I have the stevia plant growing. I'm gonna keep this a little sideways because this side is really full. And it needs to be cleared up so that these plants can actually thrive. All right, so up here we have chives. Chives, they're surviving. They're doing okay. I cut them regularly, just as needed. Our cilantro is growing into an entanglement with a lot of plants. I was not stopping it too much because I know cilantro, it also does not tolerate cool weather. So it's doesn't tolerate hot weather. So I was like, if it keeps itself shaded and safe, then it's fine. But I can see there's a little bit of stuff on it. We have some live animals living on it. So we got to get this cleaned and rinsed off. So yeah, we got some pests on our cilantro. There's some pests on this side of the world. So we're going to have to rinse off this side of the world. Let's give these a rinse. I did see something on our cilantro. Don't know what it was. And give it a little rinse. I don't see it on this. Interesting. I wonder if it even came from the cilantro, if it came from something else. But no, this is cilantro. I think that could be bothering the cucumbers. So we're gonna let our cilantro smells great. My goodness. Cilantro's hanging in there. I'm gonna keep an eye on it, and then we are going to Again, I'm going to do one large spray on this to keep everything, and just water. So I'm trying to hold the water and then not let it leak out. There we go. Let's put our cilantro back in. And let's see what is going on here. We have some more cucumber situations here. We have a jungle going on here. We gotta get this jungle cleared and getting some nice air flowing in there. Our tomatoes, I don't even know what's happening with the tomatoes. We have to take an examine these tomatoes. But before we examine them, let's get this lettuce cleared up. Something's eating the lettuce. I think we might have to keep the lettuce out while our tomatoes grow. Our Swiss chard is doing okay. I feel like I might need to take it outside too, but let's see. Let's get this rinsed off. I could see a little bit of something on the lettuce. You can't really see it unless there's spots. So again, if you see spots, anything that could be something, we want to be proactive. If it might be, then let's get it cleaned up. Definitely getting to lettuce. As I rinsed it off just now, it kind of like started falling apart easily. That is my hint to something was eating it. And then when you touch it, it's just weak. So I'm gonna give this lettuce a trimming. Because we definitely need to get our air in here. Of course, the lettuce is gonna thrive. So we're just gonna harvest off what's there right now. Something is definitely eating it. Outside, things are just enjoying the lettuce. This strand. So this strand is doing decent in this weather, even though it's warm. I think it's called Tokyo Benna, and it's doing pretty good. So it's doing pretty good in this temperature. However, outside, some animals were like, yeah, we like this too. We want lettuce and we want it now. So I'm gonna trim that one down, harvest that up a little bit. We definitely need to prune this tomato plant. What is going on with it? Oh, this is I was like, why is the cucumber over there? All right, this is our cucumber plant. Our tomato plant is, I'm gonna say it's bitten off more than it can chew. This plant is massive. It's actually what's causing most of the crowding. Let's see how we can maneuver this. We got plants collapsing on other plants. Once the leaves die, then that's perfect place for, so the plant leaves are falling into this plant, so we gotta clear it out so it can thrive. The tomato plant is out of hand. When the tomato plant gets like this in the garden, I usually take a cutting, grow it someplace else. I don't know which way is up. It's tied on. I didn't even know which way. Oh, we're gonna have to piece by piece this tomato plant. All right, so we do know we have some stuff growing out back. Let's start with cutting out some of the stuff out back. This tomato plant grows so big, so fast, so bushy, but it's been here for a while. So we are gonna keep it being healthy and thriving, but we're just gonna keep it smaller. There are several iterations of this plant outside. Every time I cut a piece that is just, you know what, this one has flowers on it. All right, this one actually has tomatoes down here, so I'm not gonna take this one off. Because I was going to say, this one we can just carry right outside. All right, the tomato plant is causing most of our tightness. here. So we are going to prune. This is just a leaf. It's nothing happening. It's a leaf. As soon as these fruits grow, produce, and come out, we're going to remove this. This is going to be one of our outdoor sections. All right, this one already broke, so let's take this off. All right, so we got most of our little extras on the back out. This is a adventure here. We have a lot of tomato plants. This is one tomato plant. The other one usually stays within the size. This is where there's too much development. All right, I would like to only take off one that does not have a lot of fruit. So it has a lot of flowers, but not a lot of fruit. I'm going to take this stem off. It's a big one. I don't see fruit growing off of it, so we're going to transplant this outside. Well, or in the kitchen. This is a little tomato plant in the kitchen. There we go. Uh-oh, cut too much. I cut two of them instead of one. This one, cut it off. It has flowers. Has a little bit of tomato growth. This we're going to plant outside. I'm going to trim it down, transplant it outside. Now, with me cutting in the area that was tight, I cut off another branch. I don't know what came off with it. Hopefully not too many tomatoes. Oh, no, it looks like we got a lot of tomatoes off of this one. Oh, we got a little tomato section that we cut off by accident. This is also going to be planted immediately outside. I'm going to put this in a pot. Let's cut the bottoms off. This part already fruited. So I'm going to put this in a pot and let it grow outside too. So I have this one pot that I just put them in, and I just leave them there, let them kind of live out their life and grow from there. If it gets really big, then I move it to the green stock. If it stays small, if it doesn't catch, usually it catches. Oh, I have lavender here that needs to go back in. All right, so let's move this over. Okay, so we can see a little better now. We got two pieces of tomato plant and the air can finally flow. Now our pepper plants won't. Pepper plants, it has like leaves that collapsed. Let's turn this back where it's supposed to be. There we go. So we're working a little better. We've improved our airflow dramatically just by adjusting that pepper plant. One of the other things I wanted to do, I mean cutting through our tomato plant, was our Swiss chard looking stressed a little. So I wanted to take it out, see how it's doing, get a good view. It's definitely weak. The leaves are very weak. We do have new ones growing in, so I'm going to harvest these ones that aren't doing too well. And then I'm just going to harvest them off. So yeah, this is, if they harvest off this easy, this is a sign that something else has been harvesting your plant. And you're just doing the little last piece. But the Swiss chard will continue to grow. See how I can't get it off yet because this one's still very healthy. This one doesn't have as much harvesting. Whatever's harvesting didn't get to that, but it got to the other ones. So as you can see here, well, this is extra pieces. I'm gonna cut these off. But there's like 3 more. Those should do fine. Doesn't need a little rinse. I'm gonna give it a little rinse anyways, just because of what we've seen so far. So yeah, these tomatoes, try not to let them get too bushy. But what I find interesting is this plant right here started the same time as this one. Yet every month or so, this one is out of control and that one is just nice and tight. And it wasn't the same seed. These are yellow. But anyways, let me rinse this off and come back. This plant is growing very nice and strong. I'm just gonna spray some peroxide on the roots. And there we go. The roots back in. The roots are red, so I mean that's life. That's the color of them. So that's the color they'll be. Got a lot of algae growing. This is the food buildup that's there. It's white because I just sprayed it with the peroxide. So I'm gonna put this back in. There we go. All right, so this is looking nice and healthy. Let me get something to wipe my hands. Gotta make sure these dry a little because we don't want the magnifying glass effect. All right, so we have a cucumber here that's doing its best. Let's put it on let's let it grow down the trellis back here. I think it was on the light itself. Let's see if it can recover back here on the trellis. All right, so now what do we have going on here? Okay, let's clean this up. This tomato plant still is growing pretty large. Again, as you can see, it's sitting on the light itself, which is not allowing other plants to get light. Also, so it's making these plants on the same tomato plant not have enough light, but then making these that are resting on the light dry out. So we're gonna have to prune this back. But let's see what's healthy, what's not, who's doing what. We gotta separate them. They're very easily to get injured. See, look, they snapped already. Oh, I snapped it already. Okay, so we're gonna have to take this whole one off. And quite gentle with them. This one, the weight of it snapped it, but that's fine. We will be able to. Do I want to plant this one outside? No. It has some flowers. It has a tomato on it. Yes, we're going to plant it outside. It's a tomato, we're planting it outside. Let's cut this bottom pieces. Again, this is a system. The size of that root holder should be the size of the roots and the plants in that root. It will fruit whether the plant is tall and large or short. So having a tall plant doesn't mean more fruit or better fruit. It fruits just as much short and compact with lots of nutrients than tall and lanky and growing all over the place. And at the end of the day, our goal is to have a lot of fruit, not necessarily a lot of green. So I'm cutting these off. I think also the amount of light blockage from this tomato plant is also not good for the other plants like the Swiss chard, which are nearby, that were caused struggle due to this one holding the light fixture, so to say. Let's see what else we could get off here. This plant is a continuous pruning. It was basically hugging the light fixture, and that means that a lot of other plants in the area weren't getting the light needed. Now that was very good for our Swiss chard here, who I'm gonna have to take outside now because now it's gonna get full light, and I don't know how it's gonna feel about that. But it was bad for other plants, the same plant, because it was hugging the light fixture, these weren't getting as much light as it could have gotten. Because we have one part of the plant holding on. It was holding on to God's unchanging hand here. This is, let's get this out of here. We have very long stems. So it's very important to keep the plants pruned and place where they can get air in between. I don't want anyone on the light. So we got this growing up, man. And as you can see, been on the channel, I prune this plant often. And yeah, every time we come back so fast, so quickly, it is a whole nother situation. This is all part of that same plant down here. It looks like the arm broke off, grabbed onto this plant. So now these plants aren't getting what they need. All right, let's see. Are there any flowers or anything? There's a tomato on there, but this one, the arm broke. So I am going to decide what I'm going to do. The arm is not being supported. The arm's supposed to be straight up, but it collapsed under its weight. I can cut it. I'm going to cut it and let it continue its life elsewhere. But the arm definitely collapsed under its weight, so it's not feeding the rest of that plant. Meaning that I'm going to show you the bend. There's a bend in it right here. Whoops. There's a bend in it here. So the food is not getting to it smoothly because of that bend. So it kind of broke. It was trying to be supportive. So this one, I mean, I could cut like up here, but it has fruited. We're going to let this one go. We're going to replant some of the other ones. So now we have air again. So yeah, about once a month. I wouldn't say the plant grows out of control all the time. Because again, in the winter, it wasn't this. I wasn't experiencing this. What is this? I cut myself? Yep. On what? I don't even know. All right, so as you can see, as I mentioned earlier, lettuce is not thriving. It is too hot for the lettuce. The lettuce is just barely holding on. The lettuce is just doing the best it can. I don't know if anything is bothering this, so we're gonna give it a spray. But all the lettuce, it's born bolted, pretty much. So there we go. That's another lettuce. This is another lettuce. I've been taking them out. I'm gonna take them out. And just wait for the weather to cool down. I'm gonna be away for a little while, so when I come back in October, this whole thing is gonna be lettuce. Not the whole thing, but we are gonna be refilling our lettuce dreams in October. But right now, the lettuce is like, whew, it is way too hot. This one, and where's the other one? Put the cover. We're just gonna take this out because it's too hot for the lettuce. It's even too hot indoors for the lettuce. It is a little cooler outside, and again, I talked about my north-facing windows. I mean, north-facing part. So we're probably going to take we're taking something outside. We're going to take the Swiss chard because the Swiss chard was in here. It was really in there with that tomato. Hi, Addie. Hi. Okay, go get y'all snack. All right, get y'all snack to eat. So the tomatoes was really blocking the light. I'm not sure with all these other plants being hot and bolted. I don't think the mustard will be able to make it. So right now where it's at, I'm gonna take it outside and let it get some cool breeze. They're all getting something to eat, and I also need a glass of water. So let me get a glass of water with tea. What? Addie? Here. Yes, juice. Thank you. You're welcome. All right, so I had to grab a little something to drink. All right, so we're back. Next we have our larger peppers. You have our Goliath pepper. There's definitely something here on our peppers They haven't been getting the right amount of light. They haven't been getting the right amount of air. Plants have been falling on them and perishing. So we are going to have to give them some, thank you, some regeneration. But before we do that, before we do that, yes, we're gonna take this mustard outside. Yes, Addie. Oh no, the mustard was being robbed. Uh, 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 it was being, something was eating its food.
Mom.
I don't know who was eating because nobody else's roots were like that.
Mom.
Help her, please, with that straw. Okay. So we're gonna take this mustard outside. You know what? I'll leave it inside and let it get the fan and see if it can survive with the fan. But it's going outside. It's a little hot in here. Something was bothering it, but we're putting the roots back in. And you know what? Let's see if it can, how it can deal with the fan. It's not in its highest of lit areas. You have it sitting here. Make sure nothing's there. And we're gonna put the fan here and see how it does. See if the fan is enough to cool it, keep it cool. All right, so we're going further down our peppers. Yes, our peppers have been going through. There are also other plants back here, but I don't know if they are surviving. They survived the tomato takeover. So let's take this pepper plant out. Uh-oh. Keep it supported. Oh my goodness.
What?
Look at this. There are 3, 4. What? There are a lot of peppers on here. I was like, why is this plant so heavy? A lot of peppers, but it's also having a little bit of fun. It seems like something is bothering the leaves, so we're going to give it a rinse, give it a spray, and give it some recovery. However, there are quite a few, let's bring it here, large size peppers here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. The plant, the leaves are looking good for this many peppers, supporting this many larger size peppers. However, the leaves are under attack. They also need some breeze. So I'm gonna take these and give them their rinsing, shake off, and spraying real quick. Well, see, look, see what happens is these things fall and they die and they disintegrate on top of another plant. Then that's not good for the other plant's health. I have to hold it by the stem here because it is definitely, this plant is definitely very heavy. Taking off some of these lower ones. Very heavy supporting these large peppers. What? I didn't even know it was in there hidden. All right, let's get this back in here. And then we are going to, now's not the time to pop the bubbles. No, now's not the time to play with the bubbles. So let's rinse these off.
I don't know what's in here.
got a clean rinsing of this plant. During the winter, we don't have a lot of these type of issues. Everybody is just, it's too cold. The plant's just there making it. They are rough. Tells you something's going on, but we're gonna, again, let them dry out. Give them their coating. It is definitely thriving. I feel like lifting this one a little higher up. No, because I was gonna say, yes, I should lift up a little higher, but I think it might bother some of these other plants. So let's put it right back where it was. It's doing great there. The celery here is, the celery said light, what's that? And we didn't even know there was light around. Celery here was doing its best. So I'm gonna bring the celery, okay, put it down. Celery up higher. There's quite a few. Did I put the lavender back? Yes, I did. Okay, good. So let's put this back in there. We're gonna do the other pepper and then move our celery. So we have some tarragon that's not getting too much good news because of we have our plants that are taking over the light. I'm gonna prune this one back a little. Some of these bigger leaves from blocking the light. Let's get this one up and over. Give it a rinse too. Doesn't have too much stuff growing out here. We do have a lot of flowers. This is a pretty young plant. Yes, Addie. This is our other pepper plant. This is our banana peppers. This is a hotter pepper. Some leaves are falling off. It is a little weaker. Well, these are also leaves from other plants that kind of fall in there. Because there's no air, they tend to build up, which is a problem. So that's why we're definitely going to be adjusting our fan to fan out here. And then we are going to, what? Something was eating this? Who's doing to these? Uh-oh, is this a tarragon roots? Tarragon was, oh no. Oh no. So many roots were in the tarragon. One of the plants rooted. That's what happened to the tarragon. So this is in the tarragon space. All these roots from another plant. The way it looks is looking, I don't know. It looks like the bok choy, or one of them grew from bok choy's in here quietly. And some of these roots were being aggressive. And this is what happens when it sits there for too long. It takes all the nutrients out of the other plants, like algae. Even though it's not algae, it just sucks all the nutrients out. Will our tarragon be able to recover? We will see. Let's put it back in here. And let's give this plant a quick rinse. And I feel like it needs some support. Probably some support so it can stop blocking the light of other plants. I'm going to go get a support thing and tie it on. Actually, there should be, there's one here from the cucumber. I'm going to use it. Uh-oh. It is falling down.
Mom.
Yes.
I can go.
All right. We have a bathroom. We're going to have to do a bathroom break. I'm coming. At bathroom break. Come on, go to the bathroom. Where are you?
Go.
That way. The one downstairs. Where's she going? She's taking a long way? All right, we just put that up. This way. Come on, this way.
Okay.
This way. Get over here. Where's she?
Okay.
Addie, this way.
Here.
All right. So we took our break. Yeah, a quick bathroom break. Okay. So we got this one. I put it on the support. Let's see if the support is holding it up. to have this supported because it is a heavier pepper. I also feel like it needs some support too, but here we are. Let's let this go in that direction. Got some of these leaves that are covering the light. Let's cut them off. Ouch! Is it the plant that cut me? Ah, it fell. The support fell down. Hold on. What happened?
I was playing with the toilet paper.
Okay.
Now she's wasting toilet paper.
All right, help her off. That means she's finished. All right, let's get this back up there. My support thing was too low. Let's do it a little higher.
She had diarrhea.
Oh, Celine!
Thank you.
You're welcome. There we go. All right, hopefully that holds better. Let me rinse my hand off. Yes. All right, let's do some pruning. On this plant, it is growing pretty large. This one up here. Let's get some of these big leaves off. Keep it nice and healthy. We also don't want this one growing like the tomato. We just wake up and 8 million of them. And we are focusing on more fruit, not more leaves. It's okay to prune away some of these leaves. The plant does need leaves to grow, but not always as many as grow here. We're not looking to grow big leaves, we're looking to grow large peppers. We're gonna cut back on some of these. Just a little. And prune it down. Give it a little pruning here. There we are. And cut this one back. And this one, the leaves are getting a little brown. Some of these larger leaves are down here. This one's not doing anything. There we go. All right, so we got it pruned back. A nice, neat plant. Ow! What is going on here? We are pruned down to a nice, neat plant. I think I have a cut on my hand, and then every time something touches off the stick. Yes, you're not supposed to play with that either. All right. Let's get here cleaned up a little. We got our larger pepper plant cleaned up. Our tarragon. Whoever's been in the tarragon is not in the tarragon anymore. We got one more pepper plant to put back in. And then we would have done our garden healthy. All right, so we have this. Oh, our celery. Celery was getting a lot of light, so I decided to move it. Let's bring it up here. It can get some light instead of being hidden in there. Let's put this in here. There we go. And then at the end, we'll give everybody a large bit. So our last pepper plant now is here. We're going to give it a quick rinse off. Some of the leaves that cut off are on it. And give this a quick rinse and a good pruning. Yes? No?
No.
So let's give it a little pruning.
Yeah.
Up here. Our lower leaves. I tend to prune off some of these massive leaves. Usually they're not supporting anything. Just trim this plant down. Smells really good. These pepper plants, they smell really good. We're looking to promote fruit growth, not necessarily leaf growth. So we are going to get back as many of these massive leaves as we can. And then we're going to give our plant a little rinse. This doesn't look like, looks pretty healthy. So we have a few leaves that are suffering here. For the most part, the fruit are doing well. I think this plant is a little more resistant to stuff. Let's see, this leaf is not on it. Let's shake off this stuff first. This plant is a little more resistant, these pepper plants, than some of the lettuce that are dealing with the hot weather. All right, we got some plants. We got leaves stuck in there. There we go. All right, put that back. You don't also play with it also. All right, it's time for y'all to get y'all soups.
Yeah.
All right. All right, so let me rinse this off and we're wrapping this up. Again, our other garden doesn't have much to do. It's just this harvesting.
Your feet
All
are.
right, so we have our, excuse you, we have our pepper plant.
Get something first.
Where did it go? A pepper plant here. All right. Then this one, we are just gonna, it's doing pretty okay. I think after it gets wet, and they're not as great as standing up. They gotta get back up. So give it some time to get it back up. And there we go. This is our plants. So we got it all cleared up. It's nice and airy. We're gonna get our fan in. So let's go really quick and harvest from clean up our other garden really quickly. Do our quick harvest. It definitely has air in here. So all we're doing is harvesting some of our very large plants and calling it a day. I'm right here. I came back. Sometimes I don't do both of these in one day, but we're going for it. So we have a lot of plants that are just growing pretty large. So we're just going to give them a quick harvest so that we can get our air in here. We do have our fan going. So we have some Swiss chard. We're going to bring down our Swiss chard. All right. Then we have our collard greens. They're growing. Harvest harvest them in pieces. They don't get too tough. It's nice to eat with salad. We're gonna get our Swiss chard out. Our collard greens, our larger one pieces out of here. Let it grow. It's large. There we go. This one does have. All right. Do not bother her. She doesn't want to come.
No!
All right. So we have some of our Swiss chard here.
Daddy.
Okay, Selene. Then we have some lettuce. All right. Let's get this one more larger collard green off. Then we have our hibiscus is doing good. We have our lettuce. You know what? This lettuce, I can't tell if it's bolted or not. Yeah, it is. This lettuce is time to go. It's bolted. Yes. Oh, this is definitely bolted. Yes. Hello. Hi. So we're gonna remove this bolted lettuce.
After this, I don't want little
All right. So just make sure she doesn't bump into it. But don't take it away from her. Stop it. She's gonna fuss if you take it away. All right. So we got that lettuce bolted. So we're getting that one out. Put it back here. As you can see, we have some cucumbers living their best life back there. Our hibiscus is doing pretty good. Let's see how this lettuce is going. This lettuce has also been around for very long. It's looking pretty good. However, I'm going to, no, it is kind of long. So this one is time to go. It has grown past its prime. So we have our other lettuce to come out. Then we have, so our hibiscus is doing phenomenal. Our purple kohlrabi is past time to harvest. So let's get our stuff in order here. So we have our whatever this is, our onions growing there. Soleil, drink out soup. I know she's excited. I can hear her going wee. All right, so we have some spinach we're harvesting. We gotta get our fresh air in here. These cucumber plants are doing pretty well. We're gonna harvest our spinach. Off. Then we have, let's make our way down. We got cucumber growing back there. We have some tomato plants. Okay, let's not go straight to tomatoes. These tomatoes are doing pretty decent. I hang the onions over here a lot. We have our hibiscus here, which is growing huge. We have another sweet pepper plant that's doing okay here. I'm trying to be very gentle with the hibiscus. Then we have our purple kohlrabi, which is ready to harvest. So it's ready to go. So I need to find where it is. It grew so big that it popped. There it is. I was like, where is the main part of the purple kohlrabi? So these purple kohlrabi have grown. Oh no. Oh, we have some root discrepancies here. So we have full grown kohlrabis that are ready for harvest. So we are harvesting these. And we're going to put another set in. This plant grew quick, it grew fast, and it grew healthy. So we are going to, I did very well. We got our kohlrabi to eat. Just going to put this over here as we harvest and enjoy our kohlrabi. Then, as you can see, our hibiscus is growing wide across. Oh, we have a cucumber here that also passes prime. I didn't even know there was a cucumber here. So that's like this garden needed harvesting. So we got a cucumber here. And then we have some of our larger plants. So let me give our plants a spray, some of them. And well, we're gonna spray out on the other ones. We're gonna just do both the sprays at the same time. This one is we should have been harvesting. Well, we didn't harvest. All right, so we have the hibiscus just flowering up, tons of flowers. We have our cucumbers. We need to figure out what's going on with our cucumbers. All right, we have dill over here. We have dill and tomatoes over here doing pretty good. So this one, dill's another one that's not good for high humidity, but it smells great. The fan has been really working well with it. And again, our plants that are lower down are humongous. So let's get some of these plants out of here. Not out of here, but harvested. So this is our lemon balm. Look at the size of this. This lemon balm is very large. So we're gonna harvest this. Harvesting is easy. You hold it upside down, you give it a clip, and that's it. I'm just gonna let it drop. There's nothing on the floor, so it's not getting mixed up with other plants. And we're just gonna clip this like this. And then when I get to the third of the plant that's actually staying, then I'm gonna cut them at their Y areas. So the stems that are actually we're keeping, then I'm gonna cut them at their Y, their joints, so they can regrow new plants. So this one we'll cut here. Other ones we're just cutting. There we go. We got much more smaller. So we're gonna leave those plants to dry. Our lemon balm definitely to dry. It's really good for tea. I use it to season. It smells great. It's very lemony. Yeah, so this one's definitely overcrowded. These are turning brown. It is massive. I've never seen it grow that big in the unit. So it's huge. Oh, look, there's another cucumber. See, this is what happens when you let them grow. There's another cucumber down there because the size has been on too long. It has started to turn yellow. So when plants grow this big, you don't see the other ones fruity. You don't even see the fruit. So you gotta get it cleaned up. So we got you. There we go. Again, another lettuce that didn't make it through the season. Oh, I see a little dusting. That's not good. So we are going to clip this. I'm going to clip part of it. Do we have any new leaves growing there? We do. Let's clip these. And we're going to give it a little, let's move this out of the way because the stuff is going to fall in here. And these are our babies. So we got cucumber that, stayed on too long because we couldn't see it, which is never good. That's why it's always important to check in on the plants. I spend a little less time in this room than I used to. Garlic chives are they're surviving there. We do have some stuff going on that we need some spray happening here. Let's get some of these. Now I lost my little clipper. There it is. So behind all of the shrubs, sometimes the plants are growing, we don't know what's happening, and we're unable to help them, so we gotta keep things clear. But this one is definitely not feeling well. Let's cut that off. Sometimes when they don't feel well, they fall off. And we don't, not able to see that they're not feeling well, and then not able to help them. All right, so we got this pepper, which is also growing pretty full. This is not even the plant. And it's fighting the good fight. So this pepper, that's why it's growing so full. Usually the peppers do not visit anyone else, but this one was visiting everyone else. So let's put this in. Oh, this one is, that's why I wasn't being able to support. This one's in the water, which is bad when it's in the water at the bottom. It takes on the nutrients to the plants. So the plants up top, like the cucumber plant, when the water is cycling through, it already doesn't have any nutrients because there was a plant with its roots eating all the nutrients. So now you can see a lot, these plants are going to be a lot more stronger now that we've taken this pepper plant out of the main water area. So our plants are going to be able to, the only thing is that this pepper has tons of flowers. I don't know how it's going to recover now that how it's going to do now that it's not in the water. We're probably going to have to cut back a lot of this pepper. It has a lot of flowers. So I don't know what we're going to do now that it's not going to get that large source of nutrients. Since we're taking it from the main water, I'm going to have to cut it back because it's not going to be able to support all this. The root system fits into the cup, but it's not getting as much nutrients as it was getting since it is no longer in the main source of water for all of the plants. It's going to be in its own source, only getting its own water, and not everybody else's nutrients. So we cut that back just a little, just to help it. And then we're going to put this back here. And that's pretty much it. And then give it a spray. See our stuff. Here we have some cucumbers that weren't doing well. Some cucumber plants. We have a little bit of our tomato plant here. It does need a little pruning, so we're just going to give it a quick prune. Just going to cut off any, there's a lot of tomatoes on this. So but this one looks like it has a lot of flowers. Also, it's the major stem. But a lot of the tomatoes have come off, so we're going to take off this extension. Since the tomatoes were harvested from this extension already. And then it is very full. There are 2 tomato plants growing here. So we're going to be very careful. Some of these we've already harvested from, so I'm cutting off any stem that we've already harvested the plant from. Harvested tomatoes from. It still has tomatoes on it. This is our cucumber. This is our older tomato plant up here, growing intertwined with our younger tomato plants. Of course, there's absolutely no air getting in between here. This is jungle moves. So we got this here. You don't want the plants dying and then just sitting there, tangling up with other plants. It's a very strong stem going here. We're going to try to separate them. There we go. Separating these 2 plants smoothly. It's very entangled with our hibiscus. We do, oops, see like I cracked the hibiscus already. We want the hibiscus to be able to flower peacefully. As soon as it opens up, it's not going to be interacting well with all of these other tomato plants. So So let's get, here is one that can come off. Anything that's not really fruiting or large on the tomato plant, I'm pruning back. All right, so this is one plant that's doing pretty good. This is another one that's doing great. We have harvested off of this one, and then this is another extension of that plant. As you can see here, many parts of this plant has already been, we already ate the tomatoes. So let's pull this off. We already ate the tomatoes, then I let it go, that part. Or if it's not really fruiting, also let it go. Yeah, cucumber back there. There we go. All right. So our last step now is to give it a little spray. And we're done. Again, we're not doing any more lettuce for the season until it cools down. As you see, our thyme plant is doing pretty good over here. Our cucumbers are struggling a little bit. I'm going to leave some of them. Well, no, you shouldn't leave any of these on. And the cucumber's not feeling well, it's not good to leave on. Because it's going to be working to heal these. And we want it to work to produce more fruit. So if you want to leave one or two for healing, maybe, but not too many. So there we go. So we're going to give it our little spray. Let me get our spray container. There's our neem. We do have some openings. I'm going to just put a cap on. So we can give our little spray there. We got a lot of flowers flowering here. We're going to drench it a little bit. And nothing's growing there. That doesn't really need anything, but we're spraying it anyway. Our Swiss chard. Got a little spray going. And that's it. Have some oils, some essential oils for our plants. Not too many on our flowers. Then we're going to put our little covers. Let me go get our caps to cover up the open. Yes, we're going to get our little covers to cover up our openings and go from there. There we go. And then we need one more. There we go. There's the other one. And then the other piece is not in. All right, and then our other garden, we're going to spray our neem oil.
Mommy.
Our big leaves. Just to give it a little more health and strength. And we're going to definitely give it a dose of fan treatments. Well, thank you very much for joining. This has been a long one. We did 2 gardens today. We updated, we harvested, we got it nice and airy. We checked in on our plants. We saw lots of new growth and new food. We got our hibiscus growing over here. Wow, they are huge and they're beautiful. They were open yesterday, so they'll open back again. We pruned our tomatoes. We caught some. We got rid of some, what is it called? Some moss, I guess this was called. I forgot the name. We got rid of something, but it was bothering our plants, and now they're healthy. Thank you very much for joining. Don't forget, if you're interested in your own gardening, there's a link in the description box below. Don't forget to follow us, like, comment, and subscribe. Share if you care. Also, our website is AV Gardening. For more information, visit our website, avgardening.com. And for extra support on our Patreon, for more gardening tips at patreon.com. I will see you guys next time. We do have a little more stuff to do, but I need to take a break. have a snack myself, and I will talk to you guys later. Stay green always. Bye.